Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Today we are here for round number 5 in our McLaren driver career mode for the Spanish Grand Prix. Before we get into potential spoilers, go check out the last episode at Miami. Definitely an interesting one, of course, Miami being newly added to the calendar. In the background you can see skipping through practice, getting a good amount of R&D points, putting our total up to 1.8k, almost 1.9k R&D points, and we get decent amount of development boosts too, so that is very good. Looking forward into the second half of the season. Then jump into qualifying for the Spanish Grand Prix. Now I hope and I do believe we'll have quite a lot of pace here, because I had to do Spain for one of the leagues I'm going to sign up. It's one of the league sign-ups requests Spain, so I believe we'll have good pace. So yeah, those are set up. Then eventually head out for our first run in this session. You can see out the rear wing, because of course we don't have an equal car just yet. But yeah, here we are then, end of lap. Well, end of the first lap. You could see accidentally clipping the sausage curbs on the inside. That's not what you want to do. Then go through the long right-hander, and you can see we just open up the next corner a bit too much, and we invalidate. So no lap time for us. So we'll eventually go for a second run in this session, and hopefully we don't invalidate that one. Here we are then on the second lap, 3 tenths down. You can see we gain a bit of time, but then lose time again. There we're 4 tenths down, almost half a second down. Though now we're gaining time again into the final sector. Running very wide there. Somehow still gaining time now again through the long right-hander. This time we make sure to not extend the next right-hander too much, and we keep it within track limits, which is good. You can see turning in a bit too early there, losing us a lot of time. But we're gonna come across the line and set a a 19.6. Currently down in P17, as we're gonna jump onto our final lap in the session. Gonna try and get a good exit out of the final corner, opening DRS and across the line. Start the final lap. You can see engine wear is an issue too, so definitely don't have optimal power on this lap, as in turn 1 we missed the apex a bit. Somehow we're still up, because I believe turn 2 was pretty good. Turn 3 is nice and clean too, as we're almost a 10th, well, we are a 10th up. Ending sector 1 into turn 4 we go. Running out on the grass, and somehow we didn't spin there. We're still a 10th up, but then we completely missed the apex, and now we're half a 10th down. This qualifying is complete for the Spanish Grand Prix. Little glitch there with the what you call it, with the clip. But as you saw, we touched the sausage curbs and the car beached on the curbs, and we spin around. So that's quali over for us. You can see Leclerc on pole ahead of Sainz, Checo, Valtteri, and Lando in P16, because he was the car behind us when we spun. But yeah, without further ado, let's jump into the race.
The Spanish Grand Prix has been a permanent fixture on the Formula One calendar for over 30 years now, and for good reason. Do you remember Michael Schumacher's absolute dominance here in that rain-soaked Grand Prix in 1996? That day he took his first ever victory for Ferrari, and we've had many more iconic moments since. It's a sellout crowd of 140,000 here today as we await lights out for the 730-meter sprint down into turn 1. This is a 2.9-mile racetrack. Overtaking is challenging through the 16 corners, but there's still a lot of high-speed excitement to be found, including the flat-out turn 3 and the terrifying blind right of turn 9. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, and the smooth operator Carlos Sainz completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Perez, Bottas, and Sir Lewis Hamilton, and Verstappen, Russell, Fernando Alonso, Ocon, and Pierre Gasly, Mick Schumacher, Vettel, Kevin Magnussen, and Tsunoda, Albon, Norris, Lance Stroll, and McLaren. They've taken a grid penalty. Joe and Nicholas Latifi. And now it's time to head down to the track. Now, Natalie Pinkham, I wonder, might we be in for some early pit stops today from the midfield teams, trying to put pressure on or disrupt things for the leaders up front?
If you're in the middle of the pack, you know, you've got your own race to run. I don't think they're going to be thinking about causing trouble up front. However, closer to the head of the pack, don't be surprised to see some split strategies. If you're running second and third, for example, bringing one car in for an undercut whilst leaving the other out longer can put a lot of pressure on the leader and maybe force them into making an error.
Here we are then on the grid for the Spanish Grand Prix. You can see selecting strategy, we're going to go for a medium soft. Let's see, lowering the fuel down to 17.6, so plus 0.6 laps of fuel. Lowering the front wing for a bit more front end, and we're going to head down to the formation lap. And we're starting at the very back of the grid because we've taken a completely fresh engine. So it wasn't worth starting P18, I believe, but with an old engine. Anyway, we're gonna try and nail the parking. As you can see, 0.1, that's perfect. You can get 0.0, but it's not guaranteed to do every time. Anyways, it's time for the Spanish Grand Prix as we've got 5 red lights and it is lights out. And away we go for round number 5 in the season. See, we got a decent start considering we're on mediums. We're gonna look to the inside into turn 1. We're gonna get past Latifi. At least we get alongside him. It's through turn 2. We're gonna sweep around the outside, and on turn 3 we have the inside line. So we do get ahead of Latifi just yet, as you can see Albon getting all out of shape on the exit of turn 3 as we're gonna go down the inside of Lance Stroll into turn 4, heading into turn 5. Then you can see we almost rear-end Zhou Guanyu, bit of contact, but we didn't pick up any damage from that. Then we've got Stroll still alongside us, so we're gonna swoop around the outside of turn 7, I believe that is, and we make the move stick up into P17. So decent start. Also worth noting our teammate. A good start for him too, as Leclerc out in the lead still with the fastest lap. Ferrari's already absolutely clear. You can see an Alfa Romeo of Valtteri Bottas is in P3. Anyway, we jump to the start of lap number 3, and we've got side-by-side up action up ahead. As Lando goes a bit wide there, we're going to try and somehow make a move. You can see Zhou Guanyu goes through the inside. We're going to make it 3 wide around the outside, but we touch the gravel and can't put the power down. But we're going to keep pushing. We make a bit of contact with Lando, but we eventually get past Zhou Guanyu, so that's important. We then move to the end of lap number 3. You can see Lando takes a weird line and backs off, and somehow we find the room, and Lando leaves us the room, and we go right round the outside of the 2 right-handers, and that's us up into P14. So a good start to the race, not only lap 1, but we're making decent progress. As next up is Yuki Tsunoda. I saw he doesn't have DRS, so we're just gonna drain our battery and fly past a Japanese driver. Next up is Kevin Magnussen, 1.1 ahead, so we need to close up to him on this lap. As we've got yellow flags up ahead, that is gonna be? It's gonna be George Russell. So one of the Mercedes out of this race, giving us a free position. And worth noting, we've caught up to Kevin Magnussen too. So we're in the DRS train, which is good. As you can see, start of lap number 7. Magnussen goes for a move on Sebastian Vettel into turn 4. Gonna try and pick up the pieces and maybe get one, if not both positions, as they're on old soft. So right now we should have the better tires in the well, we should have more grip as we go through turn 7 in time on traction. As see now Lando trying to get involved. We're gonna aggressively cut over, try and defend that position, but he actually gets to the inside as we outbrake ourselves a bit. But we hang on for now, and you can see almost rear-ending Magnussen. Then anyway, soft runner's box. Then Leclerc came through. Of course, he's already made his pit stop. So we've let him go, so we get DRS on the main straight, which will give us 2 or 3 tenths, I think. So tactical move there. Or did we pit on the end of this lap? I'm not sure. No. So we went on for the DRS. Then I believe on the end of lap number 10 we boxed. Honestly, yeah, we're speeding through time. Pace was actually pretty good at this point. So getting pretty much every apex. And we're gonna peel into the pit lane for one and only mandatory stop. But can we nail the turn in? It's about 0.7 is the optimal, as we actually press 0.4 and that's optimal. So that's good. As 2.5 seconds up, that's decent. I believe optimal is between 0.4 and 0.6. But now we've got cold tires, so let's see where we rejoin. As Gasly goes past, but crucially, we rejoin ahead of Kevin Magnussen, so we've overcut him. And for some reason, Hamilton is behind us too on hards. So I believe we've just gained 2 positions there. Anyway, tires are warm and we jump to the start of lap number 12. And you can see it's grip difference. We can just easily pull to the inside. We set a purple first sector. Not sure if that's legit or if that's just a game glitch like it was last year. Didn't experience that glitch in career mode though, only online. But that is us up into P9, and you can see Leclerc comes home to win the Grand Prix from pole position. His teammate in P2, and then there's an absolutely massive gap to the Red Bull. But nothing happened. We dropped Magnussen. We couldn't close up to Schumacher, so it's gonna be P9 from the back of the grid. I think that's a decent recovery drive here for us today, and the Spanish Grand Prix as we cross the line in P9.
A real team effort then, which has paid off in spades. A great victory here at the Spanish Grand Prix. Natalie Pinkham, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, this was a real team victory. They put together a solid strategy today that appeared well suited to the conditions out on track. The driver did everything that was expected of them in the moment to really execute the team's plan to perfection. A shining example of how F1 really is a team sport.
Here come our winners now, a thrilling race and a tremendous effort by Ferrari. Their history is well known, so it's no surprise to fans the world over to see them come out on top once again. After this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. Charles Leclerc
So
currently
that was it
leading the
then
championship
with this
standings,
episode, round number
expectedly
5
even
for the
further with
Spanish
this
Grand Prix.
result.
If you
Let's
did enjoy,
focus on the
please leave a
driver of the
like and
day.
subscribe to my
Who
channel to
picked
help
for
me
the
out
win? Who do you pick?
with the
Today, I'm going to give it
algorithm,
to
and
the
all
McLaren
support is
driver.
greatly
He pushed and
appreciated.
pushed and found
And
some fantastic performance.
yeah,
It was an
round
absolute
number 5
pleasure to
complete.
watch.
It's
First
time to
half
see
of
how
the
things are
season
shaping up
complete.
in the Constructors'
Definitely getting
Championship.
used to the cars, so
Ferrari
we should be
continue
good
to
in the
extend
middle
the gap at the top
or
of the
second
table.
part of the season.
Meanwhile,
Sorry.
good work from Aston Martin this
So yeah,
weekend,
that was
who
it from
pushed
me for
themselves
this
further up
episode.
the order.
Until
Well,
next
what an
time,
end to
take
another
care and
fantastic weekend of
goodbye.
racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.